Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only Luigi here, and I am from the likes of the Maxi Toys videos once again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Luigi's Mansion for the Nintendo GameCube / Nintendo 3DS as a remake. Mind you, we are still playing for the GameCube version just because of proper capture footage. And on top of that, still, I will say this again, the controls are superb for the GameCube controller in my opinion. So, anyways, last time we did somehow manage able to continue exploring some parts for the likes of Area 4, which not only we did somehow manage to capture the last few portrait ghosts, before the final one anyway, is that, as you can tell, we've almost got every single big pearls except the part that I was so close to able to actually realize that I was very close to able to actually get a gold frame for one of those portrait ghosts located in cold storage. But apart from those aside things though, and also in addition to that, we also captured every single last booze. And not only that, that gives us the second gold diamond. So that'll pretty much worth a lot of money for the sake of the forms of getting the best results for that particular tally, for that particular money amount as far as we can able to conceive. So, in addition to that though, is about the fact that we did somehow manage to able to wrap things up everything in third floor. And as a result, about no matter what though, we somehow got the final shape key, which appears to be based off from Spade. So, yeah, and this will pretty much lead us to the final room in the entire game, which not only we can able to save that for later, but also as you can tell, that I was originally trying to able to read the entire description of the forms of every single portrait ghosts in here, but honestly though, it's just my reading skills is not exactly the greatest, unlike Twilight Sparkle, that she's a master at reading, so because she loves books so much. So, anyways though, a few things I want to explain for this point today, while this is going on, is that, well, today's date of course is the 20th of October today, in some cases in 2023 today, and for those of you probably wondering, yes, not only does Super Mario Bros. Wonder came out today for the Nintendo Switch, but also that Spider-Man 2 has recently came out today for the PlayStation 5. So, as a result, I might able to actually mention briefly about those two games until for later, although I'm probably not going to mention any of those spoilers for those two games respectively, because obviously both games recently came out just recently, and for I've heard that the Super Mario Bros. Wonder game did somehow manage able to receive some very good reviews. Like, as a result, they somehow gave it like a 9 out of 10, which is very impressive, even for a brand new 2D Mario game after New Super Mario Bros. U, back on 2012, for the Wii U, and as a result, it's nice to see the 2D Mario stuff is back after the events of so many years ago, since New Super Mario Bros. U after all, at least technically speaking on the Wii U version, so, but I digress. There's also another thing I would classify for mentioning about this as well, is that yes, after this particular playthrough of Luigi's Mansion, as far as the first playthrough is concerned, yes, it is definitely possible for me that I can able to actually do the second playthrough of the game for a while. Well, mainly because, originally, that Sonic was supposed to go back into Sonic Frontiers, but unfortunately though, the continuation part of Sonic Frontiers has been delayed once again, mainly because about the fact that he just really wants able to get a massive resting parts for the sake of the forms of trying to able to keep on playing Sonic Frontiers. So mainly we'll able to actually continue more on the forms of Sonic Frontiers until specifically sometime in November, and hopefully we'll get the perfect opportunity that we'll able to end things off completely for Sonic Frontiers by the end of the year. So let's just hope, fingers crossed on that part, because there's going to be a lot of jam-packed full of content that Sonic definitely needs to able to tackle through, especially because, well, at this point in time is about the fact that I believe he's now going to go into the progression for climbing onto the 5th and probably the final trial tower, and there's going to be a lot of hellish hard parts here and there, especially because you know what I'm talking about, especially considering the fact that, well, it'll be the worst aspect of this DLC for me though, is when you're going for completion. Like, that's the main part about it. It's just about the fact that I know we couldn't help it for the sake of the forms to try to do for certain Let's Plays, for that matter, when it comes to going for 400% completions in some other games. Like, for instance, that we've already, completed everything in Sonic Origins / Sonic Origins Plus, despite the fact that there's no option for us to able to actually play any of those Game Gear stuff, aside from some of these distractions, I suppose. But either way, though, in addition to that, though, is about the fact that recently, I've already did manage to able to complete it. Sonic Superstars just recently, today, for the Switch version, most notably, because obviously I can play the game on the go, and then again, I'm not going to go into any spoilers for that particular gameplay elements to it, especially because, well, the game has already been out for 3 days now, so because of that, though, and then apparently, though, a lot of people seemed able to give Sonic Superstars a pretty good review scores too, but except the part the fact that once again, the IGN just sometimes screwed up the scripts, which as a result, I just have no words to think about it. And to make matters worse, he did somehow, or someone in IGN, did somehow show us any spoiler clips. So, yeah, and also telling us specific strategies of the spoiler elements to it. So, although I will admit though right away, whenever I managed able to play Sonic Superstars on my own time on the Switch version, that at least I did somehow manage able to obtain every single Chaos Emeralds on my first attempt, like usually when it comes to these all 7 Chaos Emeralds individually. So as a result, it doesn't take me that long to able to actually get every single Chaos Emerald in the game, just like the forms of how it does it on Sonic Mania. Although something worth noting for is that, potentially speaking though, is that, well, honestly guys, I just don't feel like trying to able to actually just to like mention any spoilers from now on, just because, well, relatively speaking, we don't want to let any Sonic fans who are able to actually get spoiled for some upcoming parts. So, but anyways though, yeah, today for this video is that we're going to be able to begin the final room in the entire first playthrough of Luigi's Mansion, and because of that, I apologize for my commentary, it's a little bit slightly awkward at this point today. That's just mainly because about the fact that, unfortunately, for Sonic Frontiers Let's Play continuing parts, it'll be delayed for, presumably for one last time, or perhaps even maybe 2 more times, because obviously, that's specifically until next month, mind you, that the original Powerpuff Girls series is about to be able to get its 25th anniversary treatment coming up. So because of that, maybe by that time until by the end of November sometime, then we can pretty much guarantee to say that until the ending portion of November, that we'll pretty much get able to, like, well, we'll save that particular topic until for later. So, open sesame! And that way, we can now able to actually access the final room in the entire game. So, in some cases though, let's insert the final key in. And, believe it or not though, is about the fact that we can now able to save Mario for good. And able to take on the true final boss in Luigi's Mansion for the Nintendo GameCube / Nintendo 3DS, if you want to include that. So here we are in Secret Altar. So because of that though, and all we get in here though is just about the fact that, well, for one, we got ourselves the final Sapphire. Although I was originally trying to able to find myself the last Ruby, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So because of that though, I suppose we'll also have to leave it for now on. So, and of course, the last few bits of coins and money notes here and there. But if you really want able to save your cash at one point, luckily there is actually a way you can able to actually go all the way back, and that is that particular mirror over there. So, and potentially speaking, that pretty much leads us straight all the way back here. So, at least potentially if I want to save my game, then obviously I can do that. So, anyways though, something's worth noting for as well is about the fact that, yeah, I've somehow missed one of those rubies. So, yeah, I have no idea where that is though. Especially it's noticeable about the fact it's been a very long time since I actually have last played the GameCube version of Luigi's Mansion, or to be more specifically, the original Luigi's Mansion entirely, mainly because about the fact I was been busy playing through some other games recently, you know, like, for instance, with the forms of Sonic Superstars, as I mentioned earlier, and on top of all that stuff, though, with I was very excited able to try out Super Mario Bros. Wonder until today. Although I was originally trying to able to actually decide to do the unboxing video for Super Mario Bros. Wonder. But unfortunately, though, due to time constraints, unfortunately, though, that's not gonna happen. So because of that, oh well, no big deal, especially because whenever I manage to play it on my own time, I had a lot of fun playing that game, actually. Especially concerning for the fact that I just cannot wait until I'm able to experience the brand new 2D Mario experience after the events of New Super Mario Bros. U, not just by the forms within the Wii U version, but on the Switch version as well. So, yeah, there's not much else explanations for the sake of time right there, so it looks like here we are now, on to the final boss in the game, and we've met again King Boo after that particular brief introductioning bit, since during the forms within Area 2 after all, but we finally meet again, face to face. So even then, let's see if you can able to actually let my brother go, and hopefully we're able to actually just to like, well, save the day, basically. So, but even then, no. Yeah, not much else explanations for the sake of time. No wonder why that King Boo gets a lot more popular these days, ever since in during the forms of not only in this game, but also during the forms of some later spin-off series, like, for instance, with, let's just say, Mario Kart Double Dash, and especially noticeable with, Mario Kart Wii, and recently Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and even especially noticeable with the forms of some brief appearances from time to time, like for instance with Mario Party 9, and Mario Party 10, and Star Rush, and especially noticeable with Superstars, that basically he becomes the actual host in nighttime if you try to steal coins and stars and whatever. So yeah, you probably get the idea about that. So, but then again, no, I was originally able to read the actual text box here and there, but honestly, guys, it's just about the fact that we've almost nearly at the end. Well, to be more specifically on the first playthrough, so as a result, I think it kind of feels a bit similar situation as the forms of not only Ghosts and Goblins, but also with Super Ghouls and Ghosts for the Super Nintendo. Well, potentially speaking with Ghouls and Ghosts, that basically is about the fact, or Ghosts and Goblins on the NES, that you have to replay the game twice. Like, one time you can able to actually come across into Astroth, as far as I'm concerned, but either way. Oh jeez, what is going on with King Boo right here? He's gonna turn Mario's painting into Bowser! Oh my goodness gracious me, we've met again, Bowser. Well, to be more specifically, ever since in during the forms of in the old days. And we're about to get sucked into the painting, which pretty much leads us to the final boss in the game. So here we go, folks, on to the final boss in Luigi's Mansion, which is none other than Bowser, but also with King Boo. Because apparently, though, King Boo is actually taking control of Bowser as the actual puppet. So, because yeah, as you can see, in order able to actually bust out of the bones of Bowser's head, is that basically you need to able to use the Poltergust 3000 in order able to suck up the bomb, and then basically you have to reflect or shoot the bomb back at him, so that way it reveals King Boo himself. And unlike any other bosses in the game, King Boo does have a lot, I mean a lot of health. Specifically, 500 health. So, and what's even cool about this particular final boss as it is that it gets like a very cool background. And on top of that, for those of you if you ever played the 3DS version of the game, basically though, with that particular door has been blocked off, that basically on the 3DS version it shows us the actual Bowser icon. That basically though is about the fact that we can't able to actually access that particular point. But either way though, it is definitely without a doubt the hardest boss fight in the game, which is pretty much expected for a final boss to be like this. Especially if you really want to get yourselves a gold frame on this particular final boss itself. You can't afford to get hit twice, because if you get hit twice, there goes your gold frame run. So because of that though, yeah, if you manage to get hit once, then you will be okay. But it's just that when you get hit twice, then you get your silver frame as far as this is concerned. But even then though, Honestly, this fight is pretty easy when you get the hang of it though, even though sometimes it gets a bit tricky at one point, especially because, as you can tell, as soon as you try to able to drain King Boo's health a bit, basically though, Bowser decides to able to shoot those ice balls right at us, able to actually realize, oh god, he's actually lost control here. Although eventually at some point that he will turn his head back around, so but even then though, that's something we need to watch out for, especially because, considering about the fact that, oh jeez, it's like he's gonna toss some more bombs that he's been practicing bowling through sometimes. And boom! Nice shot. And from here we can now able to finish off King Boo once and for all with only a last bit of health, and there we go. That concludes the final boss in Luigi's Mansion with no damage whatsoever. In addition to that, you get yourselves a freebie red gem or the red diamond as well as part of King Boo's crown. So as a result, it might be still worth about 5,000 gold. So yeah, I guess that makes it a little bit obvious. It seems kind of little amount of cash for the sake of time. So, and every once in a while is that Bowser's body has been, well, no longer functions, so because of that, because, you know, King Boo is now in the actual Poltergust 3000. So, yeah, the day is saved. So, as a result, we can pretty much now gonna able to obtain a picture frame of Mario, so we can now able to actually restore him into its original form. So as a result, believe me, this wasn't the only time we were able to actually do this kind of stuff. That will happen about roughly 3 times. Like, we're going to be doing one in this game, and another one in the future sequels that we're about to able to tackle for those, between both 2024 and 2025 respectively, when it comes to both games coming up. So, but even then, no. And I believe after this, though, is about the fact that I don't think we can get ourselves a brand new key or anything else like that, because we've used every single keys in this game, to be more specifically on the first playthrough. But regardless of such, though, there might be still more ways to go for this point, especially because, like I said before, this is the PAL version of the game, so I don't think we can probably get the best rank results, you know? And also, something's worth noting for is that Luigi's overall buttons is actually a lot bigger than the 3DS version, because I know for a fact that they're almost trying to replicate something related to, like, well, I don't know, it's a bit tricky to explain, because it kind of feels a bit similar thing as recently for Mario vs. Donkey Kong Remake, actually, when in the original version of the game, on Mario vs. Donkey Kong, is that Mario's overall buttons is actually bigger, while the remake is actually a lot more smaller. So, but even then, no, yeah, let's just go ahead and receive a picture frame of Mario. And now we somehow got back into the forms of that particular lab, so we can now able to actually send the last batch of portrait ghosts in that special contraption, so potentially speaking we can able to see the actual final results of those picture frames on the first run through. So let's see how this goes. Although I'm pretty certain about the fact that we've almost got a perfect run on Area 4, apart from one in particular portrait ghost in mind, which as a result, because of the forms of how the fact that we have to do with ice physics and stuff like that, which you probably already know ever since in yesterday. So anyway, so let's see what we got. So of course I got a gold frame of King Boo and Bowser together. Another gold frame right here. And another gold frame. And also we got ourselves yet another gold frame. And not only that, another gold frame. And even better, yet another gold frame by luckiest first attempt. Except with this guy, which we able to go a silver frame just because of ice physics. So, but overall, not bad of a run. Even though despite the fact in the blackout segment that, god, I almost get owned. But anyway, so yeah, we've pretty much captured every single ghosts in the entire game. So this also includes Area 4 as well. I don't think it's possible for Area 5 until what if we jump right into Luigi's Mansion 2 next year? There's going to be multiple mansions we can explore. So even then, let's have a look at the final tally results of how much cash we've got, and especially noticeable how many gems we've got, as well as gold bars, pearls, you name it. So basically we've gathered every single collectibles, except we're still missing one ruby left, which I have managed to try my best able to actually find that, but sometimes though, it's just I wasn't paying attention to the surroundings. So yeah, we ended up with 130 million gold. So yeah, that's a pretty good record right there. Mind you, we're probably not going to get the A rank on this run, so I think the only common rank we can get is the B rank. So yeah, let's watch the ending to Luigi's Mansion for the Nintendo GameCube / Nintendo 3DS version, and hopefully we'll bring Mario back to life. So yeah, let's see if we can able to do this the reverse way and whatnot. So yeah, let's see what really happens here. So anyway, game saved, so yeah.
Mario? Mamma mia! Oh, oh,
Hooray! Mario's back to normal, except the fact that he was being dizzy throughout the last few seconds, but that's to be expected because the forms of how the fact that, well, he got out of the painting now. So, anyway, so that was it for the first playthrough of Luigi's Mansion, but as I said before, I will able to actually go for the second playthrough, because once you beat the game once, basically though it's about the fact you go into this second mode called Hidden Mansion mode, where basically you go for the entire game again, except the only noticeable difference is that obviously the game is being completely flipped, specifically in the PAL version of the game, because it feels very similar thing as the forms of how it does it on The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, for not only on the GameCube, but also on the Wii version as well, which, to be fair though, I think it's probably best for me to be able to discuss more about it until specifically next Monday, because like I said before, I'm afraid to tell you is that Sonic Frontiers continuation part is officially been delayed until specifically sometime in November sometime, but we're not exactly sure when exactly, so stay tuned for that. So, and also we got ourselves a some screenshots right here showing the forms. I think this is the bronze frame variant of King Boo picture, so, but luckily we still got the gold frame after all. So man, I really love this credits theme music in the background because it's so upbeat and catchy, especially concerning for the fact that, imagine if you really want to go for a Halloween party or something like that, then imagine if this will be on, then obviously it'll just make things a lot more catchy and all that stuff, especially to able to match the spooky vibes to it. So yeah, that was about it basically. So, but even then though, yeah, not much else explanations for the sake of the forms of today's discussion at this point, aside from the fact that I'm having a lot of fun, not only playing this game for doing a redo Let's Play for you guys, but also currently I have basically just managed able to just had a lot of fun playing Super Mario Bros. Wonder recently. So because of that though, yeah, everything's all settled during that time. So again, I was originally trying to read this particular text here, but I think I should probably save that once we get to the second playthrough. So anyway, so this is what the rank we've got, and that is rank B. So welcome to Luigi's new mansion. So almost roughly the same size as the other one, but hey, So with that being said though, I think we should probably end things off this point right here. So join me next time for more of Let's Play of Luigi's Mansion for the Nintendo GameCube / Nintendo 3DS. Is that we're gonna jump right into the Hidden Mansion mode. So see you guys until on Monday. Later fellas, wish me luck.